the first thing is to educate, especially in the UK. They think of Turkey and they like Turkey. They understand it, they know it. They come here on their summer holidays. But you say you're going skiing and they go, there's no skiing in Turkey. You say there's loads of skiing in Turkey. There are high mountains. But this is the first issue you've got. The standard person, particularly in the UK, thinks Turkey is sun. That's good because they've already been to Turkey. They trust the product. They know it's good, you know. But the biggest hurdle, I think, is the obvious one, is telling them you've got these amazing mountains.
Mm-hmm. And linked to that, I think it might be a good idea to talk to the travel agents or the providers of the summer holidays. So if they've got a brochure, then you could have maybe an advertisement to publicise Turkish skiing. So when somebody comes on a summer holiday or is looking at a summer holiday to Turkey, they can also see there is an alternative to maybe come, because you've already got a market. You don't have to go and find customers. They're already Turkish customers. And as a consequence then, if there was a 1-page or a 2-page spread saying, this is, we don't just have sun, we also have snow, then that could be a quick way and a very cost-efficient way to be able to target a market that's already wanting to come to Turkey.
Thanks so much.
I think for US and North American skiers, Canada too, it's not on our radar. Like this isn't somewhere that people come even in the summer. So I think in that case you have double the opportunity really. But this would be the trip you would take instead of Japan or instead of Europe. So I think marketing like that as a kind of like once in a lifetime, like bucket list, the big trip, because for us getting here is the big hurdle, but talking about like marketing direct flights to Istanbul, like where can you fly in directly? And then, you know, it's an investment for the US skier because it's far to come, but then once you're here, it's so accessible, it's really easy to navigate. I think it feels like the infrastructure here feels, you know, on the caliber of Europe or, you know, something like that. So I think it's the hurdle for a US market is convincing them to just get here, and then it's easy, and like you've organized everything so tightly, you know, that it's really approachable once you're here.
Went to Cappadocia. It's different things with ski resorts. It's not ski tourism, not winter tourism. But we want to add this package, Cappadocia and Erciyes. Is it working, or we should stay in Erciyes then on a daily travel?
There's a company in the UK who are growing very popular called Ski Safari. They do exactly that. You're going skiing, but you're also seeing other things. They've already got the clients and they're constantly looking for new places. These are people that they love skiing, but their life is not just skiing. And they really want to be fed inspiration about their next trip. So a big one for Ski Safari, which came on and they thought, it's going to do a bit for us, but not that much, is Norway. The fjords, the whole thing about seeing Norway and adding the skiing to that. You see, the skiing in Norway is fine. It's not amazing, but they had all this other stuff and put together so you could approach someone like that just to sort of trial it out, as we've done, which Ski Safari do, and they could give you some feedback too. It might be worth, but I can give you those details. I don't see any issue.
And from a ski perspective, especially if you're trying to attract families from overseas to come and enjoy the product, I would say basing themselves at the mountain and then travelling to Cappadocia for the day is better than basing themselves in Kayseri or Cappadocia and then coming to the mountain, because once the day is done, you really want to just come straight off the slopes, come out of your ski gear, maybe go and use the pool or the spa, that type of thing, and then think about taking a day as a day trip, or you know, maybe 2 days of skiing, 3 days of skiing, take a day trip, 2 days of skiing, then another day trip to see something else. But being close to the action would give it more motivation for people to come, because they'd see it as a ski holiday with additional activities. It'd be a harder sell to sell staying in Cappadocia and then making the big journey over here to ski for the day.
I agree with that. I think stay here and put the day trips in between, so you get a break from, you know, your legs are tired or the conditions are not as good. You want to be able to go and do something like that instead of just stay at the hotel. So I agree, staying here and do trips out.
I'm thinking maybe we can use Cappadocia brand to marketing Erciyes ski resorts.
Yeah.
Is working for the other guests, like they don't ski before and they start here. Can we use that for beginners?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We saw the beginner terrain. I'd love to teach you because the beginner terrain is very consistent. So the pitch is the same here. There's none of this going on, and there's no around the corner. So when you go to some other resorts that are marketed as beginner resorts, they might be tree-lined runs, and you might be going around a corner, which is the most terrifying thing for somebody who's learning to ski because they don't know where they're going. Whereas what I've seen of the lower mountain here, they start at the top and they can see exactly where they're going. It's very consistent. Excuse me, and more importantly, it looks as if the more able skiers will be coming on that pincer movement around that central area, so they're not shooting through the beginner area, so the beginners will feel very, very safe. So this is a really great area for people to learn and be exposed to skiing for the first time.
And really good for if you're in a group of friends or family that's mixed ability, because often if there's two people in the family that are really good skiers, they don't want to go to a beginner area, or if you have beginners in the family, they don't want to go to the extreme, you know, they're not going to go to Canada like BC or the big, but here you, from the beginner slope, you have the like incredible view. It feels like it doesn't feel like muted or dumbed down. So I think that's really great. Like you can ski the piece, you can ski the beginner area, or you can go and have access and ski tour from the resort. And that's incredible, the variety within a group. And I think just to answer your earlier question about does it work to have Cappadocia and mixed in with this trip, I think for the US market, if they're going to come all the way here, they want that also. Because if you're going to go to Turkey, it's exotic, it's different, you're not coming, you know, you maybe haven't come before, or it's a once in a lifetime trip, so you want more culture, like it's unique to us. So I think that's important to have that mixed in.